say that's the dish glove? No, this is the Infinity Gauntlet. I could destroy all life on the planet.
Something epic. Hello. 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 Hello and welcome to a very spooky Halloween special. I was going to do a voice mod thing, but I couldn't get the voice mod to work. So that's what you get. But if you are watching this live, that means that it is Halloween Day. So a happy Halloween to anyone watching right now. Give me a minute while I get the game open up here. As you can probably hear, we got some nice spooky music going on in the background. Get the whole vibe going. The game is taking an unnecessarily long time to upload. There we are. Alrighty. So yes, welcome once again to the glorious, currently unnamed SMP server, which I guess in a way kind of just become its name. Not really, I mean, semi-intentional, but also not really. Wait, what did I say? Ooh, spooky. Spooky indeed. Alright. That's the one time I will allow the normally generated splashes to occur. Which actually I think they overwrote my splashes mod, which is interesting. I'm not complaining. I like it. So, as you may recall, and as the game will hopefully recall, we are at the moment working on chopping down a bajillion trees so that we can start construction on the tower. Or as the title will probably say, the spooky tower, because everything's spooky today. It's Halloween. So, as you can clearly see, I have once again run myself out of a hoe, so I need to make another hoe. Where is my crafting table? Do I have a crafting table? I do have a crafting table. It is literally in my inventory. I am apparently blind. Let's make us, I guess I can make 3 stone hoes. Not much, but it'll get us going. Alright, we got hoes. Let us continue with the chopping down of the tree. And actually, while I'm right next to it, let's go ahead and grab this mushroom. Oh, hi, there's a creeper down there. Hello there, Mr. Creeper. How may I help you? I can shoot you. Is that of any help to you? You're not supposed to dodge the arrow. Be gone. Yay, mushrooms. And also a bit of gunpowder. Not complaining. I like me some gunpowder. It makes things go boom. And I like it. Go boom. So, as it is typical Monday, we do have our lawnmower guy out there probably doing the last lawnmower of the season, I would imagine. Well, it's not really growing a whole lot anymore, although he does do a wonderful job of chopping up all the leaves and bagging them up for us as well. That's nice. If you ever don't feel like doing yard work, get yourself a lawn guy. Definitely a good thing to have. You can probably hear the lawnmower going on in the background, and I apologize for that. But at this point, it's pretty much tradition. You know, every other Monday we get a little lawnmower noise. No big deal. Just talk through it for the most part. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not that great at keeping up constant stream of conversation, as I'm sure you may have noticed by now. But you know, I will certainly. That's all anyone can really do. What? I was about to ask why that couple's in there, but that was my original line that I had followed. Find the outer skirts of the tower. Actually, I haven't bothered to check in the edit whether or not the lawnmower is even audible. It sometimes will show up on the OBS readout, but even then it's pretty faint. So, I don't know. For all I know, I could just be pointing out something that you didn't even notice before. Boop. And one thing I forgot to mention though, although you can't really see me because I don't have a face cam, I am actually dressed up today. I'm dressed up as a wizard. I have an old wizard robe from, I think it was actually a Pathfinder outfit that I had kind of put together myself a couple years ago. I have that plus an old prom dress that I had bought for another costume that it was actually cosplay that I did even longer ago. It was actually a Mega Gardevoir costume. I just realized I was working with like pickaxe. I'm a dumb. I didn't even bother to look. Whoops. Well, so much for that pickaxe. Whatever. Yeah, this is a so the old prom dress basically it was almost exactly what I needed. It was a black and white dress. The only problem was it had a little bit of lacing on the top part. So what we did, and by we I mean what my sister did, who actually has some amount of sewing skills, she basically very carefully cut off that little bit of lacing so that it was just plain white on top with the black skirt, and then made me a little ribbon to act as the orange spiky bits, whatever they are. Sewed that to the front, and then I had a nice little blue wig. And actually, I'm not positive, but I think that was actually my first ever cosplay. It was just kind of a bunch of little bits and pieces thrown together to look like a convincing enough outfit. And actually, if I do say so myself, I would say that it was probably a pretty good outfit. I made at least one person's day because that person came up and like gave me a hug and took a picture with me, and it was a fun time. I'll remember that fondly. Then I took the dress from that, I had a wizard's robe, and a fun little shirt that I have. It's a black shirt, got a flame on it. It says ignite the fire within. So I'm a little fire mage. I feel like that's like one of... It feels more authentic when you just kind of put pieces together rather than just buying a costume. I mean, yes, I did buy each individual part, but it didn't come pre-assembled. Like a lot of the costume that you can get at any Spirit Halloween. Like I had to actually put a little bit of effort in. I mean, not much, but a little bit of effort went into like making the costume into what it is. And I feel like that kind of adds a little air of authenticity to the whole idea of the costume. Now, that's not to say that I haven't just picked up a costume at Spirit Halloween and used that. It is convenient, to be sure. Just be able to pick up a costume and put it on. In fact, I think, I mean, not from Spirit Halloween, but last year I just bought a straight-up Loki costume. Although I did add my own little flair to it by kind of non-binary-ifying it. if that is a word, it's not. But I added my own little non-binary flair by making it, or by wearing a black skirt instead of the traditional leather pants that came with it. So even though I did buy a fully assembled costume, I still added my own personal touch to it. Which I do try to do, even if I do buy a fully formed costume. Like, I do try to add some sort of personality to it. I want to make it my own, right? You don't want to just be any old schmo dressed up as some random character from that random show. If you want to be able to put your own spin on it. I feel like that's really the true spirit of what makes Halloween such a fun time. Is you get to see everyone's own creative input into their own costumes. Nope, can't jump that far. I need more hose. I also need my pickaxe back. Which I need a pickaxe. Good thing. Oh, did I use up all my iron? Where did my iron go? I thought I had more. Ah, there it is. That's right, I was using it to make rails. I do want at least one, at least my pickaxe back, but the hose I'm going to make out of stone. I'm just going to be plowing through them. Get my pickaxe. I have that. And once I'm done here, I'll make more, I'll make a proper iron hoe. Yep. Yeah, if I had a fortune pickaxe, I would actually have a better chance of getting apples. I mean, I got 25 apples so far, so it's not too bad. But I will eventually be needing quite a few apples for the villagers, actually. Once I am able to zombify and furthermore cure them. A bit of a drop there. That's the same drop I keep falling into. Of course it is. Darn that drop. Alright, let's go ahead and actually chop up to this bit of leaves here. Make it a little easier on myself. There we are. Alright, be gone, leaves. Obviously, there are more trees that I have to deal with later on, but we will figure those out once we get to them. I just want to get the main part of the forest figured out now, and then I'll worry about the rest of them later on in the tower construction. Which actually, in order to construct the tower, I will need to destruct the mountain. So there's that. Which, I mean, I guess is what I've been doing by chopping all these trees down. Apple. Here comes the moon again. I better go get in bed before monsters start coming out. Although it is Halloween, so I guess I should probably allow the monsters to come out, right? Maybe not. That sounds dangerous. Okay, I just thought of something that would be kind of cool if Mojang were to add it. And that is that only on Halloween, if you throw sugar or sugar cane while there's a monster chasing you, then it will cause them to stop. I feel like that would be a fun little Easter egg to do. It basically looks like warding off the trick-or-treaters. By supplying them with the closest thing to candy there is in this game, which is sugar. I don't know. That's just a fun little idea that I just had. I think it would be cool. Whoops. There's probably something that also stop jumping out of trees. I forget that I'm a little more fragile with unenchanted iron armor. Yeah, this mushroom's getting in my way. Be gone, mushroom! There we are. Alright, now we can properly deal with this tree. And then I have more leaves. Feed me with your leaves. The song kind of giving me little Lavender Town vibes. And if it wasn't copyrighted, I would totally play a Lavender Town song. But alas, we must live by the rules of the internet. I mean, what I could do, and I could play it live, and then I'd have to remove it from the edit, though. Well, that's a death, yep, okay. Where was I exactly? Nope, there's a frog. Actually, where actually was I? Yeah, like I can say. Pretty sure I'm over there. It was correct. I know not. I don't see my stuff. I don't know if that's actually right. It was definitely by an edge, I know that much. I see an experience orb down there. Alright, now how to get down there without dying. Here we find the tricky part. I think I can probably survive that. Might hurt, but yeah, okay. It hurt a little bit, but I did survive it. Torches down there. More stuff up and down around here. I can't seem to actually. Oddly enough, I picked up my tools in proper order. Interesting. If I get that everything there. I think all that's left is a few torches at the bottom there. Oh, and my apples. I do not have my apples. I have my bow. I have my arrows. Okay. Yeah, I'm just missing torches and my apples. Should be around here somewhere. Also, my pants. I probably shouldn't have jumped there. Pants. Torches are down there. I have no idea where the apples went. Cobblestone. Alright. Try to do this a little safely. As safe as possible. Torches. Yeah, still missing my apples. Which is unfortunate because I had quite a few of them. I do not know the fate of my apples. It seems that they have disappeared. Oh well. Not a big deal, just a mild inconvenience. Oh, get out of here. Well, darn, I lost all my apples. I am falling off a cliff. Oh well. Probably finish over here first before I start moving on to other areas. That would be the smart thing to do. Let's not fall off a cliff this time. No more falling off cliffs. Okay. That should be everything on this side of the mountain. So let's see, where exactly was our actual construction level? I feel like I had started figuring it out somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where that was. Not this, that's just my lava pit. Oh, I guess I'm sitting in pit now. Was it? No, it wasn't this. I don't think. I feel like I definitely started it somewhere. And now I can't find it. So that's great. If I recall, I feel like it was like target block 148. Maybe this. I think that's right. Jeez, I have no idea actually. Could conceivably be pretty much any of these. Yeah, we'll worry about that when we need to. Right now, let's continue on with the trees. I feel like I need to get up into the canopy again, but I don't really have a good canopy access. Maybe this actually. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Canopy, ho! Aha. Dark at the top. Work our way down. That was supposed to be a running jump. Let's get back up there and try that again, shall we? Nope, not that way. There we are. Up real quick. Take a little sip of my drink. And back to the leaves. Probably eat something. I've actually gotten really bad at remembering to, like, eat in Minecraft. Especially on my other server, like, I've been just strip mining, literally. Like, I literally have... I'm actually, like, essentially doing the same thing I'm doing here, which is just mining out the area that the tower is going to be. The difference being that on my other server, I actually have, like, all full diamond armor, fully enchanted, and beacons and all that get up. Plus, I also have a massive army of allays. Oh, whoops. Well, and so, I basically just mine like crazy, really fast, and have a bajillion blocks everywhere, which is why I have the allays to help with the cleanup there. But I find myself forgetting to eat because I'm just mindlessly mining endlessly. Can't tell if that's... No, okay. I was gonna say, I couldn't tell if that was at this same level as this, but I don't think it is. No, so I can't tell. Whatever, I'll get to it eventually. Wrong button. Pretty sure this is the last little stretch of leaves that I have left. Just this last little bit of canopy. Look at that fade. Nice yellow stuff over here, fading very nicely into the greener leaves. Beautiful. Beautiful colors. Definitely one of my favorite parts of the autumn season. All the different colors of leaves. And also stomping around on them. They're nice and crunchy. Oh, I gotta pick up my crafting table here. There we are. There. And it looks like we are about ready to go to McDonald's. Yep. And I make this jump. Ah, nope. I tried. One thing I was actually going to say about the allays, though, thinking about it, they're actually like not bad at what they were meant to be doing, which I know is odd that I feel the need to point that out. Like, it seemed to me that everyone was kind of not super impressed with how the allays worked. I've actually like been giving them a fair showing, and they're not bad at what they do. Granted, it is important to have multiple per block of each allay. Like per block that you want them to pick up. So for example, I have, I think, something like 7 just for stone, and then I have 2 each for all of the rest of the blocks that would be mined via silk touch. So that'd be like all the ores and the deep slate and all that. I mean, aside from the need for that redundancy, like they're actually pretty decent at like picking up items and bringing them to me. I will say the one downside about them is the no block feature with them, which is if they hear a no block, they'll bring the items to the no block instead. It's not great. And the reason for that is because, well, a couple things. For one, they will stick to that no block rather than returning to the player, which means that if you want them to return to you, you have to basically keep them on leads or have a properly set redstone timer for said no block so that it goes off with intervals longer than 30 seconds, because that's how long they stick to a no block. There's that factor, but then also like they drop the items within 3 blocks of the sounding no block, which means that you have to account for that if you're wanting to create a collection system. And so the idea that I had kind of played around with a little bit was basically having as many no blocks as I felt were necessary, which is another thing. They only hear a no block within 16 blocks, so you have to set up multiple no blocks if you're mining a ginormous area like I was. So I set up, I don't even know how many no blocks. It's been like somewhere around 20-ish, I want to say. And around those no blocks, I had I had 3 blocks on either side, so it was a 7x7 square with no block in the center. And then below that, I would have a hopper minecart rail to collect all the things that the allays would drop. And so I had this ginormous, like, overly engineered system just to collect the items from the allays. And it really didn't even work all that well. Because, again, you have to have no blocks within every, 16 blocks of the allays, which means it'll only go down about 16 blocks before you have to build the system again. So what I ended up doing is just scrapping that idea and using the allays as intended, with just having them come directly to me, which works surprisingly well. The only downside is my inventory fills up rather quickly. So there is that. But, I mean, aside from that, like, the allays do what they're supposed to do, which is they collect items as they should, and they bring them to me. Yeah, the only thing that I wish were different about them is that the no block system would actually work a little bit better. But you know, for what they are, they do work pretty well. And they could probably come in handy right about now, as I'm continuously dropping saplings and sticks and apples onto the ground later to be collected. But of course, I have to actually find some allays in this world, which there should be a pillager outpost or 2 around here somewhere. I remember seeing them while I was mapping out the landscape. And the existence of pillager outposts means there's definitely at least a few allays hiding around those. Well, not necessarily hiding, more like being imprisoned around those outposts. nasty pillagers like to hold the allays hostage. Should probably get down to the ground and collect the items that I have been dropping. Yeah, we'll do this later, which I'm almost done with. And also after I get this birch tree down to the proper layer. Alright, where are things that I've been dropping down there? And stop falling out of trees. And that's probably generally good life advice in general. Don't fall out of trees. But also in Minecraft, probably best to not fall out of trees. It might cause a bit of pain slash damage. And just plowing through these hoes. Pun definitely intended. I've honestly lost count of how many hoes I've gone through. Where do I unselect everything that's fallen? These last few bits of leaves are close enough to ground level that I can easily sweep right through them. Not having to be up in the canopy. I think that is all of the leaves. At least for now. As I mentioned, there are more trees down below that I will eventually have to get to, but for now, I think that's all the leaves. Which means, next step is all of the wood. Not to be confused with Oliver wood. Alrighty. I think I've gotten powder somewhere else. I think. Yes. Okay. Toss that away. I'll get that a little bit more arcing, but yeah, alrighty. Let's just do a chopping some wood right after we take a bit of a nap. After the sun goes down a bit more. Alright, let's get to chopping. Probably it is a little more systematically. There are 2 Endermen down in my stairs. They are no doubt wreaking havoc with the dirt walls. I will deal with them later. That just sounds like an annoyance to have to deal with them right now. Or at any point, really. Just seems like an annoyance. Chop it down the tree. Yeah, sure. Easy enough to get back up from there. Maybe. It's a little trickier than I thought it was, because I thought that some of these blocks were a little closer together in height. But no matter, I did it. That's all that really matters. Definitely going to be a little more choosy about which, or rather how often I am willing to jump off a cliff or blocks. And there goes my axe. I'll have to make another axe. I don't have a ton of iron. And I want to try to save as much as I can for rails. So that means we are gonna stick with some stone axes. A little bit slower, but a little more resource efficient. Actually, not all that much slower either. Yeah, right, maybe a little bit. But I'm not made of iron, so I definitely cannot afford to use it all up on a bunch of axes. Well, supposedly there's 2 logs down here somewhere, but I don't know where they are, and I don't feel like looking. And again, I'm dropping logs. Oh wait, there one. Oh look, there's another. Alright. Yep, and there's a third. Probably all of them, actually. And now we have the tricky bit. Back up there. The only downside to dark oak trees, they tend to have branches. It is a lovely wood to work with, though, in my opinion. Everybody has their favorite wood, of course. Actually, I've grown to appreciate spruce a bit more too, because it's become the main wood in my other server, mostly due to the fact that we are in a spruce forest. Well, I guess whatever, tundra, that's what it's called. Or not tundra, taiga. That's the word. So spruce has definitely become our main wood source. So I've kind of grown to appreciate it a little bit more. Still say that dark oak is my favorite though. I just love the darkness of it. The spruce is definitely a close second. And actually, speaking of wood, I'm intrigued by the new bamboo wood that's been announced. The current look of it, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know if they'll be updating that further. I mean, it looks how it's supposed to, which is it looks like a bamboo wood. Like it's all, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it looks kind of like tied together pieces of bamboo, which I guess is the look they were going for. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. It looks alright, but definitely not one that I'll be using consistently in too many builds. I feel like it's a wood that fits best within its own context, which is within a jungle or even specifically a bamboo jungle. But taken out of context, I don't think it would look very good. Whereas most other woods look pretty good out of their own context. With maybe the exception of acacia. I don't think acacia looks very good in other biomes. It is definitely meant for the savanna. It's orange wood. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that one. That's a little too far down. Like oak being the quintessential wood that game was originally made with. Well, I say originally, I mean the first official release had oak as the only wood. That's I think. I don't know, I'm not super familiar with OG Minecraft in its early days. I'm pretty sure that they did have oak starting out. I know that oak was definitely the first wood at the very least. And so it's been tried and tested in every single biome that's been introduced. And it works pretty well in pretty much any biome because it's just a standard wood. But then you got stuff like birch, which I feel like birch also is best within its own context. Like a meadow or a birch forest. Trying to bring birch into a different biome. At least without completely terraforming said biome. I don't think it works very well. Like, yeah, you could build a birch house in a dark oak forest, but it would look weird amongst the dark oak trees. So unless you chop down all dark oak trees and essentially terraform the dark oak forest into what would at that point be a meadow, or if you plant other trees, then a different kind of forest, then yeah, birch house would look fine there. Because it would no longer be a dark oak forest. I haven't actually done a lot of experimenting with the mangrove wood either. Other than the spawn island that I built on this server. But I feel like it definitely works best with mud bricks. And that might just be my own personal bias, having used it with mud bricks. It works well as an accent color for the more browner texture of the mud bricks. Got a bit of floating logs over here. That happened. I probably just kind of forgot about them when I was digging, or when I was cutting down a different tree. But then the other wood types that we have to talk about. I've already talked about dark oak and spruce for the most part, but I mean, just to mention them again, like they are very similar to oak in the way that they work very well in pretty much any biome that you feel like building them in. Although now that I think about it, I don't think that a dark oak structure would look very good amongst like a birch forest if there's no other dark oak around. I haven't actually like attempted to build such a structure, nor have I seen what such a structure might look like naturally built, such as a villager outpost in a birch forest. But that being said, I really don't imagine it would look all that great. Just the same way that a birch-based construction probably wouldn't look that great in a dark oak forest. I feel like spruce, though, is like a nice bridge between dark oak and oak, actually. I'm gonna say dark oak and birch, but it's not quite light enough to bridge between dark oak and birch. Like it's slightly lighter than dark oak, but not quite as light as oak or birch. So it feels like a pretty nice bridging point. And as such a bridging point, I think it works pretty well in pretty much anywhere you feel like using it. Got a nice subtle tone to it. And then if you want to get real crazy, you got the nether woods, crimson and warped wood, which I don't really have much to say about them, honestly. I haven't really played around with them a whole lot. I mean, they're fine enough wood types. They just kind of have that very unusual colors to them. that I guess could work in most biomes, the red and the blue, but it would be hard to see. It's hard to imagine them in any particular biome. It's because they're not natural to the overworld. But I will say that if you were to build with Crimson or Warped, it would be definitely ideal to have a good color scheme to go with them. For example, I actually used warped doors in an oxidized copper construction, which is, I mean, it's not much of a construction, just a circular house. That was my temporary house while I'm working on my tower in my other server. And I feel like the warped doors actually work pretty well for that. It's a nice little extra tone of blue to go with the bluish green of the oxidized copper. And actually, I had considered doing a little sort of construction with like oxidized copper plus a little prismarine plus the warped wood stuff. Just all those different shades of like bluish green. It would look pretty cool, actually. Of course, that would mean I would have to, in some way, collect a bit of prismarine, which isn't exactly the easiest thing to try to collect, since you have to deal with the friggin' water monument. And I will say, I am not great at fighting guardians. Well, that now, stripped oak wood. My bad. You don't do stripped oak around here. Or, we don't do stripped wood of any kind around here. It's gonna become some planks. We're gonna forget that happened. I just had a bit of a thought, and it'll probably seem a bit off topic. But we didn't really have a topic because I wasn't really talking about anything. But it'll seem a bit out of the blue, I guess I should say. But anyway, the thought I had is that I rather enjoy actually experimenting with note blocks and just like making songs with note blocks. But I feel like I've kind of missed the note block craze, so to speak. Like, there's not a ton of note block music being made anymore. At least I feel like it. There's not. I haven't noticed a ton of it in recent years. I feel like it's kind of died out in popularity, which is a bit unfortunate. Because I only started messing around with it a few months ago. I say a few months, it was like almost a year ago now. But I rather enjoyed it, and it was very relaxing actually, just like matching up the notes to sheet music. And also like one thing that I was kind of playing around with was the idea that if you've never played around with note blocks, one thing you might not know is that depending on what block is beneath the note block, it'll produce a different instrument. But also, like, certain instruments are tuned to specific octaves. And so, what I was kind of playing around with, there's a bit of leaf right here. What I was playing around with is, like, trying to match up each instrument with a specific octave on a piano, which might have sounded a little weird. I never actually got around to finishing it. But what I came to kind of figure out was that, like, it worked out so that almost every single piano key had at least one instrument that would work with it. Actually, I think somewhere around the middle, wasn't quite middle C, but it's somewhere near middle C. There was something like 12 different instruments that would work for it. It was quite intense. But what I was gonna do with that is like try to make some songs with all the different instruments at their corresponding octaves to see what that would even sound like, and my HDMI cord just randomly quit on me. I didn't even bump it. How dare you? I got a flicker. Do we have life? Yes, we do. Okay, thank you. Oh, and then it goes again. HDMI cord, why you do this to me? I don't like playing on tiny screens. Thank you. Why? Why are you doing this? It's like flickering in and out. Like it'll come back on and then it'll just stop for the and now it's saying it has no signal. Yeah, fine. Try to reset it by turning my power switch off and on. Nope. All right. Actually, like, not even saying it's connected now. Everything reverted to my other screen. All right. It's at least saying it's connected now. Will it actually show up, though? That is the question. No. All right. Let's do a little reset there. How about now? Better 1 or 2? 1 or 2. There we are. Alright. Now I gotta reset all my different windows in the proper locations, which I guess is only OBS. Alright. All better. Please excuse the technical difficulties. I swear, I didn't even touch the HDMI cord, just randomly decided to quit on me. Which, actually, funny thing about that, I found while I was unpacking this weekend. I found one of my HDMI angles, which, I mean, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a right angle for, like a right angle hookup for an HDMI. But it's the wrong one. What I need is one that goes out from the right side of my laptop and then back. And what I found is one that would go out and forward, which sounds weird, but it actually would have been the one that hooked up to the monitor then. But the reason it doesn't work is because I have specifically my external hard drive hooked up directly next to the HDMI port on my laptop, which kind of makes it hard to have an angle go forward from there, because the USB is in front of the HDMI. So basically, I found the HDMI angle, and it was of no help because it was the wrong one. But I did at one point have the other one. I don't know what happened to it. It might be in my random box of wires somewhere. Or it might be entirely lost because I haven't used it in forever. But in either case, I will either probably just get a new one or even just get a whole new HDMI cord. Or both, actually. Whatever seems like the proper solution. At the moment, though, I'll just deal with the HDMI cord I have. It works like 90% of the time at this point, as long as I don't bump it. But I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's just my, like, every now and then I have a couple minutes of mild panic while I try to get that sorted. I don't know if panic is necessarily the right word, but mild irritation. How about that? So, the goal for the end of stream today is going to be bare minimum clearing out all these trees. It shouldn't be too hard to meet that goal. Actually making decent progress. And actually, once I'm done clearing out these trees, I will update my maps and see how they look after all these trees are gone. Probably gonna look like a grassy hill. It's more or less what it is. A very tall grassy hill, to be sure. In fact, we might even call it a mountain. That's exactly what it is. But nonetheless, just a grassy mountain, and that's about it, with a random bit of farmland in the middle. But once we get to the level that we need the villagers to be at, which again I will need to double check where that actually is, then I will build a little villager setup, and hopefully at that point actually I can maybe pull a few aside and make an iron farm. I was not talking to you, phone. And then once I have a decent source of iron, I was gonna say I would build a beacon, but I actually need to go to Nether to do that first. I need to get enough wither skeleton skulls. Actually, once I get a good source of iron, then I will build a wither skeleton farm, which will allow me to get a good supply of wither skeleton skulls, and also a fairly decent supply of coal as well, and bones for that matter. And then once I have that, then I can make a beacon, which will make mining all this out a whole lot easier. The downside, though, is that the actual iron farm itself requires quite a bit of iron to go into it before it can produce any iron. So there is that. I'm trying to remember, I have a design for an iron farm. I'm trying to remember who came up with the design though. I don't want to miscredit it. I know it was one of the Hermitcraft members. I don't remember which one though. I want to say Tango Tech, but I'm not positive on that. I can't seem to get into this tree. Would you? No, I'm out of run. I'm also out of bread. I suppose I should make some more bread. Do I have any wheat? Actually, that might be an issue. I don't know if I have any more wheat. I might have used it all up. I have 12 wheat. Oh, okay, I'm running that. Give me bread. 25 bread. Alright, that'll do for now. I should probably plant some more wheat though. Not gonna get me very far. Anyways, if it is not Tango Tech, then I will correct that later. But the design is basically what would it be? 3 modules of 3 villagers each, or 4 modules of 3 columns of 3 villagers. What is that? 36 villagers plus a zombie plus a what's the word I'm looking for? A pillager, but made to be not dangerous. Neutralized. Neutralized pillager. And then I will need a lot of water columns. So basically the 3 each. So it is a square, first of all. And then the square, where am I going? I guess I could use a portion. So it's a big square, and then within this square, each side has 3 bubble columns, or 3 would-be bubble columns. Because in order to actually make them into bubble columns, you have dispensers set up to place the water. And then what happens is in each of those would-be bubble columns is 3 villagers. So they go up to the top when the dispenser is, or when the dispensers are triggered. All 3 villagers go up to the top. They see a zombie up there. They go, zombie, and summon an iron golem. And then when they go to the bottom, they see a pillager, and they say, pillager, and summon another iron golem. So it's just a bunch of up and down of villagers summoning iron golems, and then the iron golems will go up another set of bubble columns. such that they are sent into a pit of lava where they die, and then I get iron. Yay! But that is the basics of how the design works. Trouble is, it will require a lot of dispensers, a lot of observers, and I guess that's basically it, actually. A fair bit of glass, too, I guess. Well, that log is gone. Oops. But also, I will need some chains for part of it. A few iron trapdoors as well. And then hoppers to collect everything. There's actually not a ton of iron that needs to go into it. But it's enough that I will want to be rather frugal with my iron before I get around to building that. And of course the hardest part is getting all the mobs into place. And actually, one thing I have noticed about that particular design is it does have a tendency to break if left running for too long. And by break, I mean the bubble columns will occasionally just like stop bubbling, which is a little hard to explain without having it in front of me to show you what's happening. But basically, what will happen is, like, for whatever reason, I'm not entirely sure why, but the redstone signal to the block mover that makes the bubble column do its thing will reverse itself. So what it is you have redstone torch, comparators here making a loop signal, and then redstone torch over here. This redstone torch is up on a block though. The comparators would be down here, and then the other redstone torch is on level with those comparators. And so what's supposed to happen is this redstone torch is supposed to be burnt out while this one over here is lit, and that will cause it to move the blocks as it's supposed to. But what will, for whatever reason, happen is the redstone torch over here will come on. And I haven't worked out why that happens exactly. I mean, it's an easy enough fix. All I gotta do is break that and replace it, because then it'll flip the signal back. But I don't know why it happens. And so it's a bit annoying. Because I don't know how to prevent it from happening. All I know is that occasionally I'll run over to my iron farm and, oh look, it stopped running. And then I have to go and fix that. The other thing that was sometimes happening is, and again, I don't know why it would happen, but occasionally the dispensers would get out of sync from one another, and so some of them would be dispensed while others were not. And it would cause the villagers to get stuck like halfway in between. I don't know why that would happen, but that one was a little more annoying to try to fix, because I would have to then like manually trigger each dispenser with a button to get it to be properly aligned. Although that hasn't happened very much recently. So it might have just been a one-time thing, or I guess a couple-time thing. I should probably put my wood away. Where is away? I'll put it in here. Or most of it, I guess. It seems I am a bit short on storage. That should do for now. Let's go with 5. 5 more, that is. Yep. I'll make more as needed. And then the third thing that still happens that I really, again, don't know why it's happening is that the villagers will sometimes randomly either despawn or die. I'm not entirely sure which because I've never actually witnessed it happen. All I know is that sometimes when I return to my iron farm, some of my villagers have gone missing. I'll have to replace them, which is annoying. Yeah, I don't know why that happens. It just kind of does, and I have to deal with it. But when the iron farm is working at full efficiency and there's no random things that cause it to break, then it actually produces quite a lot of iron. I think even with all those weird issues that I've been dealing with, it does still have, like I left it running once overnight, and then since then it's just kind of been idle. And that was like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago that I left that running. But since then it's been just running idle, and it's got like at least 3 or 4 double chests full of iron. Plus like maybe 1 or 2 full of, well, I think it's like 1 full of poppies and like half of 1 full of bone meal because I have the poppies split up. But I mean, it's a fair enough design, just annoying that it tends to break as often as it does. That being said, I haven't run out of iron yet, so it's not really an issue. Just a minor annoyance is all. But maybe by the time I actually get around to building my iron farm, I might have found a better design. And you may be thinking that I should maybe come up with my own design for these. And you're probably right. And I actually have come up with my own design, but they're never as good as the ones that people who actually are devoted to specifically making really high-tech farms like that can do. I mean, like with an iron farm in particular, it's a fairly simple concept. You just need villagers, at least 3 at a time, seeing a mob that they don't like, such as a pillager or a zombie, and then somewhere for the iron golem to be summoned within range of that, such that the iron golem then eventually goes into some sort of killing chamber. Like the concept is simple in theory. Why are you up there? Why are you in a tree, you wandering traitor? So yeah, the concept of an iron farm is simple in theory. It's getting it to be as efficient as possible, where I have not the time to try to fine-tune it to my specific desires. So I leave that up to people who do have that time, and who specifically devote a large portion of their YouTube career to making such designs. And also other people who devote a large portion of their careers showcasing the build of such designs. Because more often than not, I find that the video that I find for the tutorial of these designs is by someone who did not come up with the design themselves. which I find a little interesting, to say the least. What I guess is interesting about that is that the original designer doesn't ever, or I guess rarely ever, actually showcases the design themselves. They leave it to other people to do such a showcase. It's an odd little quirk of the world of YouTube Minecraft. Actually, would it be YouTube Minecraft or would it be Minecraft YouTube? What is the adjective and what is the noun in that? Because in one sense you're saying the YouTube part of the Minecraft community, in another way you're saying the Minecraft part of the YouTuber community. Which I guess is, I mean, they're both the same thing. Just a matter of how you're looking at it. In a sense, I mean, in a way, I would say I'm a part of such a community. Granted, a small part, but a part nonetheless. And so I would classify myself more as a YouTuber who does, well, not even that really. I don't know how to properly phrase it. Like, I would say I'm more a person of the Minecraft community than I am a person of the YouTube community. I guess I don't know actually how I would properly phrase that then. I guess I would say I'm a part of the YouTuber side of the Minecraft community, in a sense. So I'm a YouTube-ish Minecrafter, not necessarily a Minecraft YouTuber. If that makes any sense. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. How many more trees do we have? It looks like we're roughly halfway, actually. We might get there by the end of the stream. We got about an hour left now. Ow. Grab that one. Fine. They're not that far down. Shouldn't be too much of an issue getting back up. Maybe. There we are. Back up. Nap time. Same spot it was. Go ahead and get these matchsticks here out of the way. Yeah, quick and easy. Oh, there, Mr. Frog. I'm just gonna notice that there's a person at my door from my ring. That might be the first trick-or-treaters we have. Yeah, it is indeed. We don't actually get a whole lot of trick-or-treaters around here. But I guess that means that the ones who do come get extra candy. And whatever is left, we get to keep for ourselves. Or at least that's what I say. We'll probably end up giving quite a bit of it away to whatever charity feels like taking them. I know my work, for one, has Treats for Troops program that it does. Send Halloween candy to abroad military peoples. I'm sure we'll probably keep at least some of it for ourselves, so yeah. Gotta have a little for ourselves, right? Although my fiance says that she specifically bought stuff that she doesn't much care for. I'm not so picky. I'll eat just about anything as long as it's sugar. Which I suppose might have some factor to do with my current body shape. Not to say I'm like terribly out of shape. Not quite as in shape as I would like to be. That is quite a ways down. Yeah, we're not gonna deal with that. And this one's definitely like lower down, but the leaves were high enough that I had decided to chop at it while I was doing the leaves. So I guess I should probably chop it down as well. Oh, well, so much for that log. Not too concerned about losing a couple logs here and there. They are trees, they will grow back if I plant them, which I will eventually. That's the other downside to dark oak trees, is that they're not very easily farmed. Like, you can't really do an automatic farm for them, and trust me, I've tried. The best automatic farm I had found didn't work, for me at least. It kind of seemed to work just fine in the video that I had found about it, but for whatever reason didn't work for me. But yeah, they're because it's a 4-wide sapling pattern, it's a little more annoying to try to automate that. And so I think manual farms are probably going to be my best bet if I need more dark oak wood. Which seems unlikely, but also with as ginormous as my tower is going to be, probably going to be more dark oak wood. That is a bridge that we will burn when we go into it. I'm trying to think of. So what I just said is that's a bridge that will burn when we come to it. There's a word for the type of expression that is. Like intentionally mixing up two expressions to form something new. There's a specific word for that, and I can't remember what that word is. But I remember learning it at one point, and now it's bugging me that I can't remember. Modern figure appears. Hello. Oh, yeah, the same one. Is there another one? No, doesn't look like it. See, we got about 45 minutes left. And actually not too many trees left, so we're making pretty good time. I might actually have to pull up the last week's stream, remind myself where the villager level is supposed to be. If I could get out of this hole, please. Thank you. Ow. Remember the thing I was saying earlier about not falling out of trees? Yeah, I should probably take my own advice. There's a llama in with my sheep. The inventory is getting a bit full. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I got enough room for 3 more texts. After this one is full, which it'll probably be after this tree. And down goes the sun, and therefore down shall I go out of this tree. Hello, llama. Are you enjoying my sheep? Wow. So empty without all the trees. I'm almost out of axes again. Hello, frog. How are you liking this new open landscape? Hopefully it's easier for you to hop around without all these trees annoying you. Yeah, my last axe. Yeah, could get my craft table out, but I need to empty my inventory anyways. As much as I can. I need to make some more chests. If I don't have any made already, which doesn't look like any. Oh, I do. Yeah, 5 chests ready. We'll do one for now. Drop off all my wood. And the apples too, why not? Yep. And random weed. Mushrooms. And we'll put the extras in there. Okay. And now we need some more axes. Probably not that many. Let's go. Almost 6 for now. That should be enough to get me through the rest of these trees here. I get back up from down here? That is a good question. Right now, it's not seeming like I can. Oh, I will say the imagery of that ring overhead is kind of cool. Okay, that's a bit of a drop. And now I'm in a bit of a pickle. Not the fun kind of pickle. What the pig? I thought it was a mushroom jumping up and down. I'm very confused for a second. A bit of a cave here. I believe does connect through or not. Wait, maybe. Okay, wraps around, and I think this little waterfall here goes up to the top. Aha! Look at me, I'm so smart. Okay, maybe not. Not quite as far as I had hoped. This, if I had a singular block, which I will use a cobblestone for. There we go. Yay, problem solved. Okay. Let's quickly hop into a bed before anything tries to kill me. Other than my own stupidity. You know, that seems to be the most common cause of my death. What do we got? It's like 4 or 5 more trees. Easel de peasel. Ow. Collect all the logs that I dropped. 2 more trees. Then I actually have to figure out what level I need to be at. The last tree on the top of this mountain. And just like that, we have completely deforested this entire top of the mountain. Let's drop off all of our wood. And our extra axes. Because now it should just be a matter of pickaxe and shovel. Yeah. Might have to move a few of my things here, but other than that, pickaxe and shovel. So let's go ahead and have a little look-see at whereabouts the see stream from 70 is not showing up on my home page for some reason. Odd. Well, no matter. We'll simply have to load up on my YouTube, I guess. Let's see what we got here. Clean that. I apologize for the lack of visual reference at the moment. And hopefully this won't show me any sound, I don't think. You're right around, nope. Before I was chopping leaves, and after let's see. Looks like target block. Turn up the quality so I can actually read it. Might be helpful. Ah, there we go. Okay. Where was I actually digging at? That chunk was on. I think at that point I should have. Yeah, that was right as I finished the circle. Circle, so target block of 145. Is that what I need? Alright, we're gonna real quick. I'm gonna pause the music so I can listen to this real quick. I'll turn off that sound so you guys don't have to listen to it. No need to hear me again. Just so I can actually. Floor should be 146. Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you, past me. Alright. So, with that knowledge in mind, let's sleep real quick, since apparently it's night. So, floor should be 146, which means 148, 47. That is our floor level. Okay. Now we can just plow through the dirt here. Just kind of level this out, and that will be where we want our villagers to be. And actually, I will probably end up making an artificial floor. But we'll start by digging this all out. Just make it very clear and obvious that this is the level that I need to be at, so I don't have to check that again next time. And there goes my shovel. And now I start making shovels out of. Yeah, I don't have sticks. I might need some sticks. Alright, we got enough for 5 shovels. Let's go. 5 stone shovels. And away I go. So the way that I have this planned out, I actually have something of a plan in mind that I need to kind of tinker with a little bit. But I have something that I was working with on my testing world. So I'll tinker with it a little bit to get it to a proper working design, and then that is what I will be building here for the villagers. And I think I have it worked out to 20 villagers per module of it. And it is stackable, so I can put as many villagers as I see fit into it. However many that ends up being. And it does have a breeder attached to it, so that shouldn't be an issue. It'll just be a matter of building it into where my tower will be. I don't know, actually. I'm just kind of thinking a little bit. Because the villager module that I have is smaller than the circle that the tower is. I think it's like something around 55-ish wide. It's also square, so it might look a bit odd within a circle. I might tinker around with it a little bit and see what I can do to make it look a little nicer within my tower build. And as we continue digging up all this dirt, we are quickly approaching the end of our stream here. We got about 10 minutes left. I'm not entirely sure how I want to manage I'm receiving. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. I was getting a bit of feedback from myself. Apparently, I forgot to properly close out of that. I also just realized that I forgot to turn the sound back on for the music. Sorry about that. There you go. You have music now. So you didn't actually hear my own repeated voice. It was all in my head. No, it actually did happen, I promise. So what I was saying though is I'm not entirely sure how I want to deal with all of my stuff here that I have already set when it's not at a level that will be correct once I get the tower built. I'm going to have to move it. I believe I said 6 tall, or was it 6 tall or 10 tall? I don't actually remember now. I'll have to double check that. But however tall I said for my floors, I will adjust as necessary where all of these bits and pieces are placed. I think for now I'm just gonna kind of dig around it all. And I'll move things as I need to. That's the other thing, is I would ideally like the villager compound to be... Oops. No, 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 no. Bad chickens. Bad chickens. Whoops. Got a few escaped chickens, no big deal. You can wander around for a bit. What I was saying, though... I was saying something. Thinking around all this, yeah. I don't know what I was actually saying there. But, that's what I was saying, that I would like to have the villager mod compound in the center there, which means I'll need to move all of that anyways. So I think what I'll probably just end up doing is going probably up a floor, or maybe down a floor, I don't know. Whichever seems like the proper direction. I'm gonna leave that there just so I know that it is the center. And my hope is that those chickens will eventually wander back into their pen. It's a sad little hope, but it might happen. So I should probably make sure I have access back up to my bed. I don't really need access to the rest of it. Just, as long as I can get to my bed, that's all that really matters. Just leave a little step there. Get rid of those two that are under the bed. Well, I guess I could move the bed down, but where's the fun in that? Oh, 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 nope, 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 bad chicken, bad chicken. Escape chickens. Alright, well, that was my bad. To deal with that, I shall grab some seeds. And lure the chickens back into their pen. Come here, chickens. Come on. No, right. Need to offhand that. Boop. Pop. Cool. Might as well grab the ones that have ran away too. Come on, everybody in. Good chickie. Good chickie. In the pen. Okay. Now I'm gonna take a quick nap, and then I will deal with the rest of the chickens. Hello. My fine feathered friends. And you get into, go into the pen. Stop following me around it. Come here, you butts. There, I think that is most of the chickens, if not all of them. Looks like a couple of stragglers about, maybe. Yeah, there's one. Come to me, chicken. Into the pen with you. Come my chickens. Alright. Chickens are in their pen. Let's very carefully dig around this in such a way that I do not allow the chicken to escape. again. Okay. Last triple. Then we'll have to make some more. Okay. Chickens are clear. Let's throw eggs in here. Alright. Chickens are all accounted for. And we are right about to the end of the stream. I imagine that if I start closing out now, I'll probably run about that 3-hour mark by the time I am done. So I shall turn on the F5 here and simply say thank you, as always, for giving me a little watch here. And if you're watching over on the YouTubies, then it is probably not Halloween anymore. In which case, happy whatever day of the year it is for you. But if you are watching over there and you want to catch me live for when I do another potential Halloween stream or whatever else holiday happens to come my way, then feel free to join me over on Twitch. There's a link to that down below. And if you're watching me on Twitch right now and want to catch up on anything you might have missed, you can always look over on the YouTube. There's links to that in the places where links are. Also linked down there in both places will be links to my Discord server as well as my Patreon. If you want to join the server or contribute to my Patreon, that would be greatly appreciated. But other than that, I am officially past the 3-hour mark. So I will bid you all adieu until next time. Bye.